First opened way back in 1924, but renovated in 2002. There's a look inside venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. Just a short time ago, this crowd loud enough to shake the foundations of this nearly century-old building. They are ready for football indeed in Chicago as their guys get set to do battle with the Green Bay Packers. It's a rivalry that dates back to 1921. The Packers and Bears are underway from Chicago. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Rodgers now on first down. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. That throw good for 4. It's second down. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Now Rodgers throwing on second down. This one caught by Crowder. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Here's the now 30-year-old running back, LaShawn McCoy. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41.
And that was a good run. This was only one of 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards in 2017. And I think you can't let him run wild here.
Well, you think 100 yards, the measuring stick?
Always. That is the threshold. You want to keep him under that if you want to play good defense.
And they'll keep on the ground with McCoy. LaShawn McCoy off to the races. Touchdown, Packers. LaShawn McCoy with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Packers have taken the early lead. A try here for the extra point. Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Darius Stewart now on the return. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 26. Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Lock in.
On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. He's going to air one out. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Keanu Neal. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. On play action, now Rodgers. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A gain of 32 that time.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive play.
And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack. Back at the 47-yard line. Sam Acho. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. On play action, Rodgers. Wide open receiver, complete. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. 23 yards on the play. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. On second down, it's McCoy. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on second down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
Now, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. Trying to get it to Cobb, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 13. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
After the interception, here's Trubisky. That is incomplete. He was trying to hit Taylor Gabriel that time. That'll bring up second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Being chased out left. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's third down. And on 3rd and 8, defensively, they're going to beef up the secondary. 6 defensive backs. From the shotgun is Trubisky. Looking deep downfield. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Very good return that time. 18 yards. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. A tale of two extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. And this is caught. Mercedes Lewis with a grab. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A very solid gain of 27. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones, and he'll be brought down at about the 42. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The 1st down line at the 34 here on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Rodgers. Airing one out for Crowder. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 12. And the return will stop right around the 25.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going to loft one deep left side. He's got a man complete. It's a big-time play there for the Bears. 41 yards. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
The tackle will be credited to Jake Ryan. Now Trubisky to throw on 2nd. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Nick Perry in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Let's see what they draw up here. 3rd and long following the sack of Trubisky. From the gun, it's Trubisky. Flush to his right. And Robinson with a big catch. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A first trip to the red zone for the Bears. This is 1st and goal from about the 8. First touch of the game here for Benny Cunningham. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And he will fight his way in. Not giving up there, and he's got a Bears touchdown. Benny Cunningham, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bears are an extra point away from tying the football game. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. Trevor Davis now to return. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination. They find a way to put it aside and continue to play their game.
Can he put it aside? Let's find out. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down is Rodgers. He's got a man It's caught left sideline. A very solid gain of 27. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. The Packers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 17.
319! 319! Hey, check 26! Move it up!
On play action, it's Rodgers. And an alley to run. And he gets it down to the 32. Able to pick up a dozen yards, but they needed more. 4th down.
Well, it's not going to be a first down, but that's a nice job of picking up yardage on 3rd and long. Sometimes you just have to take what the defense gives you, and in this case, it wasn't enough to pick up the first down.
So a good kick there, and they put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the 3.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow. Not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. As we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Play action. Now Trubisky. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. The 6-time Pro Bowler, Clay Matthews. And it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14. Out of the gun, Trubisky. Buying time to his left. Finding Gabriel complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So the big play nullified, illegal forward pass.
And maybe we know why they were able to get such a good chunk of yardage on that play. That pass was illegal.
Fielded at the 33. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
And incomplete. He tried to leave it underneath, nearly got picked. He may be lucky to have that one back. 3rd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
The Packers on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 9. Now it's Rodgers. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
18. Go! 180!
On 1st down, Trubisky. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid game. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
He'll leave it for Cohen, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A pickup of 11, and it moves the chains.
Come on, gotta go.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Michigan man, Jake Ryan. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
Here's Rodgers to throw. He's going to dump that off to his running back, Montgomery. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and short. On 2nd down, Montgomery. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. The All-Pro in 2 positions. Khalil Mack there to make the stop. The offense on 3rd down tonight, just 1 for 5 to this point. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. Rodgers going to throw. Hard throw, incomplete. Here's J.K. Scott now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And it's a fake here on 4th and inches. And the gamble pays off. They get the first. Well, the fake punt gets only... yard, but that's enough to pick up the first. Rodgers now on 1st down. A dump underneath to Jones. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. It'll be a gain of 9, and it'll be 2nd and about a yard.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Rodgers now on 1st down. On the catch, it's Crowder. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. Now Rodgers. Escaping the pressure right. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. Not time enough for a play and then a timeout, you wouldn't think. So with 4 seconds left, they're going for it. A final shot before half for Rodgers. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. So we've come to halftime here with the visiting Packers out on top. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. On second down, here's Trubisky. And this is Gabriel on the catch. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. Now they'll run it with Cohen. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Tackle there by Clay Matthews.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Hey, gotta go, gotta go.
They go play action. Trubisky. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Gotta go.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Hey, gotta go, gotta go. Red, up.
Now Trubisky on 3rd and long. And an alley to run. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. That scramble good for 13 yards, but not good enough for a first down. It's 4th.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
We call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Packer drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. So here are the Packers now. They get set for their first possession of half number 2. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
And how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Robert Alford. And it's a terrific return here as he's going to have them set up with a 1st and goal right at about the 6-yard line. And that pick just sets him up beautifully right down near the goal line.
I remember being in a defensive meeting back when I was in college, and our defensive coordinator says, we're going to call this be who you are defense. D linemen, you play the run. Linebackers, be aware of anything. And secondary, you play the pass. That way, you're all set, ready for whatever they put out there.
They come up in an offset eye. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
Come on, come on. Gotta go.
Again, it's Cohen. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens.
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And last time, 1-play interceptions. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in it, and let him fling another one.
This one caught by Crowder. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. On 1st down, Rodgers. They'll set up the screen to Montgomery. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. No gain on the screen there. It's 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. Caught on the right side by Adams. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line. Rodgers to throw once more. Pass incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Rodgers again here on 2nd and 10. Dancing to his left. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. Danny Trevathan in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long.
319!
Shotgun now for Rodgers. And he fires one, but incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points. Now Trubisky lost the football. But the Bears look to get this one back, and indeed they did. So they'll keep possession.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from it. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
He's going to dump that off to his running back, Cohen. They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a 3rd down. Now, they couldn't get anything going there out on the right side in the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game?
Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Yards on the return. Picked up some good blocks as well. And the Packers will have a short field to work with here as they take over 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it 1st and goal. They come out here in the eye. They'll try and run it in with Jones. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but if the other team doesn't get it, that's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
Rodgers now on 3rd and goal. And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this 3rd quarter of play. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. And his kick is good. And that extends their advantage to 6. It's 16-10. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
He's going to... Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Give him 30 yards there. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. They'll throw on 1st down with Trubisky. Throw left side complete. That's Sims. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
And we just saw another example. These cornerbacks have played tight coverage all game long. Might start wanting to think about a few double, triple move routes to try and shake their guys free.
You're right, they have had no room to breathe. Trubisky now to throw on third down. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Then it's Clinton Dix with a pick. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. That is now seven interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet, make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. He's going to air one out, and that's caught inside the 35. And all the way down to the 9. It's a big play that time for the Packers. 64 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
Nice job defensively to hold them to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
He'll get it up the middle. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bring up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. And his kick is right there. It's good. And that will make this a 9-point lead. A big one there. That gives him a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, bled a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
Onto the field now come the Bears. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. The bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield.
Hey, gotta go, gotta go.
On 3rd down, Trubisky. Finding Gabriel complete. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. And defensively, maybe an opportunity missed there.
No doubt about it. When that ball's out, all you're thinking about as a defender is, this is our chance to make a huge play. Instead, he's able to recover his own fumble. Big sigh of relief.
Yeah, usually those wide receiver fumbles, there's open space around for the defense, but not there. He hops right back on it. Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
18. Hey, gotta go. Gotta go.
And the blitz does come. Caught out left side by Robinson. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets them a new set of downs. On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. And he can't quite bring it in. Might have heard footsteps there across the middle. 2nd down. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Trubisky. Eluding and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Clay Matthews in there to get him, and that's sack number 12 for him on the year. Play action. It's Trubisky. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Josh Jackson. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And he'll take this one up to about the 13. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. Again, it's Jones. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
And this is an absolutely big 3rd down that's been set up here, partner. And there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big 3rd down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. To throw is Rodgers. Trying to lay one up deep. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively. Taking a couple yards shy of midfield. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and we have reached the 2-minute warning. The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, and then finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass, and that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. Now Trubisky to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. He's going to let it fly. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This was the old NFL record distance for decades, a 63-yard attempt. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Now a first down carry by Jones. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. On 3rd down, here's Jones. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. Now the Bears electing to call a timeout defensively as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go in the game. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. It'll be just an 18-yard punt, and the Bears take over. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, 2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back and then score again. But they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly. Then they'll take it from there.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Hurry.
And they take a knee. Well, Charles, it's great to win at home in the NFL. When you win on the road, it's a little extra special, isn't it?
It is because, let's face it, in most cases, you're not expected to go on the road and win in the National Football League. It just doesn't usually compute. So to get out there, get that done, and then head back to your city with one in the victory column, oh, that's a fantastic feeling.
Somebody call for the queen.
I never anybody, but I got something to do with that. I got the streets on my back, carry it like I'm moving the. Told him to 100, it was like 11 in the morning, skipping school, that's a truancy about it. I made me some rest in the morning, I had me a pop by the morning, I had me some breaks by the morning, I had a six by the morning, I got on a meat on the morning, the rats keep me up on the podium, I had a in my shoulder, you got a video.